you have to go to Port Louis. So you think first, no? Oh, I have to go to Port Louis to buy this and that. And then you go to Port Louis. So everything originates in the mind, in our thought. So action springs from the mind. From speech, from the body, produces either good or evil results based on the action that we have thought of. Okay, nous fairly, ou bien nous causé, we talked, speech, right? Ou bien we have done it through our hands, our actions, right? So the result will depend upon whether the action is good or bad. As you have seen here, the law of karma written, right? So it's all about the law of karma. And the law of karma, it is applicable to everyone. By action occurs the various conditions of the man, the highest, the middling, and the lowest. C'est-à-dire, the law of karma is applicable to all. This is not something reserved only for Brahmins. It's a law for everyone. Even for the Shudra, the law is equally applicable, right? So here the law of karma has been highlighted. An action, as I told you, originate in the mind. So if the mind is under our control, definitely the actions will be good, will be positive. So here Manusmriti says there are three kinds of sinful mental action. Trois qualités mental action. Bad one, sinful. First one, coveting the property of others. Nous, quelqu'un nous prend property of others by deceiving them. Deuxième, thinking in one's heart of what is undesirable. If we keep on thinking something bad, we consider sinful mental action. Adherence to false doctrines. Nous suivons superstitions, for example. We think about it, we follow about it, we believe about. So it is a sinful mental action. Manusmriti again talks about four kinds of verbal action. Evil verbal action. Abusing, speaking untruth, detracting from the merits of all men, talking idly. These are the four bad verbal action. Three types of bodily action. Wicked bodily action, ce qui nous fait avec nous les corps, nous la main, nous les pieds, nous les corps, right? Three kinds of taking what has not been given. Si on ne dit pas de nous quelque chose, you don't take it. It's not, especially si c'est pas pour nous. Injuring creatures without the sanction of the law. Holding criminal intercourse with another man's wife. Having a relation with another man's wife. These are the three kinds of bodily wicked action. You are not expected to learn these bad actions by heart, but overall, you know, bodily bad actions, avec les corps, verbal bad actions, and the mental as well, right? We definitely obtain the result of good or evil mental, verbal, and physical act. Whichever act it is, whether we thought about something, we will get the result of it. Whether we said something wrong or good, we will get the result of, or we have done, we helped, or we slapped someone, whatever, we will definitely get the result. Sinful acts committed by this body that we have, a man becomes something inanimate in the next birth. Here we talk about the transmigration of the soul, ou bien rebirth. So if I'm a person who does sinful actions with the body, ou bien à travers les corps, right? In the next birth, the person becomes an inanimate thing. So it's law of karma. What we sow, so shall we reap. Sins committed by speech, sinukos, mauvais, nukos, menti, or something. In the next birth, we can become, in the next birth, we can become a bird or a beast. And mental sins, nous pense des choses qui mauvais, we will be born in a low caste, right? So that man who keeps this threefold control over himself, ça veut dire he controls so thought, so words, and so actions for the body, with respect to all creatures, and wholly subdues desire and wrath. Ne pas control these three aspects, the body, the thoughts, the words, mais nous aussi subdue our desire, our anger, we control that, thereby we gain success. Success, complete success, it can be anything, it can be materially, it can be spiritually also. We will be successful, right? So overall, c'est quoi? If we have a disciplined life, Conopedia, controlling, not having desires, anger, we control everything. It means simply to have a disciplined life. Quand nous prenons une disciplined life, nous prenons certain control upon ourselves, right? We continue. Manu has elaborated on the three gunas, the sattva, rajas, and tamas. These are the three gunas. A guna predominates at a time. I've told you always about it. Till we are alive, we have the three gunas in us, but at a time, only one will predominate. Let's say when you are angry, the rajas gun predominates. Sattva avec tamas, so predominance, so degree, li diminue, right? So kuma and guna, bangunas, they fluctuate. They fluctuate based upon the situations, based upon the moods. Good and moving mood, something wrong happened to you, you are in a bad mood, you become angry, so rajas predominates then. If you are very peaceful, you are meditating, it means you have sattva gun predominating, right? So goodness has the form of knowledge, that is sattva, say knowledge. Tamas, ignorance. Activity with the rajas. Love and hatred. Hatred aussi, anger to some. So when a person experiences bliss, calmness, light, he has sattva gun in him. What is mixed with pain and does not give satisfaction to the soul, one may know to be the quality of activity, rajas gun. We have a mixture of pain, we have no satisfaction. This is rajas gun. What is difficult to conquer and whichever draws embodied souls towards sensual objects. Tout le temps, nous est attracted by things. We are tempted. This is activity, rajas gun. What is coupled with delusion? When we are deluded, in delusion, we are confused. What has the character of indiscernible mass? We can't discern, we can't discriminate what is right and wrong. What cannot be fathomed by reasoning? We lose our reasoning, nupena logic. What cannot be fully known is the quality of darkness, that is tamas. Here, Manu has described the three gunas, right? Bon, pas nécessaire again apprendre tout ça man codes là par cœur là for the now. But what you need to know, how Manu has explained, for example, sattva. When we experience bliss, calmness, he said, Manu said, this is sattva gun, right? In your own words, you can explain everything. So when we have sattva gun, you will see you're going to study Vedas, the scriptures. When we do austerity, it is a form of sattva gun. Pursuit of knowledge, purity, control upon the organs. Organs include senses as well. It is sattva. Performance of meritorious acts by good actions, confer. Meditation on the soul. It's a type of meditation. Ou bien any type of meditation. Then it is a sign of sattva gun predominating in us. But when we are committing sinful action, we are indulging in sensual sexual activities too much, it is rajas. And tamas, covetousness, sleepiness, paresse, sommeil, atheism, cruelty, habits of soliciting favors, inattentiveness, all these, they are signs of tamas gun in us, right? Here again is a verse how he is describing the three gunas, right? Now, let's see the three gunas in relation to rebirth ou bien transmigration of the soul. The threefold course of transmigration. If one has sattva and Jamunin develops sattva gun completely dans lui, he is going to reach the state of God, what you call liberation. S'il y en a beaucoup rajas, quand il pourrait prendre naissance, il peut in the state of man. Manu. And s'il y en a beaucoup tamas, the person, the soul, will take birth as beasts, right? So the threefold here, we categorize as low, middle, and high. Bien sûr, beast low, middle, and high. And we should always aim the higher one, the sattva one. The lowest condition of tamas, immovable things, say, conditions of tamas, insect, fish, snake, tortoise, cattle, wild animals, they all possess a high degree of tamas gun. Middle condition of tamas. Donc tamas depend on lower, middle, and higher. Lower, I told you the few examples. Middle condition of tamas, comme si un petit peu better. There are elephants, horses, the Shudras, barbarians, lion, tigers. The highest rank of tamas, the hypocrites and the demons, the worst. Lowest condition of rajas, plus comme si kiena, rajas. Men who subsist by despicable occupation, those addicted in gambling, those who do drinking, the dernier level of rajas. Middle, better one, comme si. The conditions of rajas, the king, the kshatriya, the domestic priest, to so. The highest rank of rajas, they are the Gandharvas. Gandharva Vidyaban, heavenly beings, right? The servants of God, the Apsaras, Apsaras Vidyaban, angels. Lowest condition of sattva. Sattva, donc, in a lower, middle, and upper. Donc, the lowest ones, c'est ban hermits, ascetic, Brahman, Daitya. Daitya veut dire démon. Maintenant, nous avons un démon comme Ravan. He was a demon, but he was very knowledgeable. He was he knew the four Vedas. He even wrote the Shiv Tandav. He was a great devotee of Shiv. C'est pour ça, c'est à cause de few good qualities he has been classified in this Bandaitya. Middle condition of Sattva, the sacrifices, sages, gods, the Vedas. Highest rank of Sattva, say God himself, right? So we have to aim for the highest one, that is reaching the great one, right? In consequence of attachment to the objects of the senses, attachment to the object of the senses, and in consequence to the non-performance of duties, quand ne pas faire nos duties, fools reach the vilest birth. Fools with the lowest men, lower level of men. C'est pas veut dire qu'il peut faire discrimination, no, but lower level of men, that is those who do the really bad actions, they take the vilest birth later on. The slayer of a Brahman, and Jimun can slay a Brahman, he, in the next birth, he enters the womb of a dog, ou bien a pig, ou bien ass, camel, cow, goat, sheep, deer, bird, kandal, ou bien pukkash. Pukkash, c'est un low caste. Kandal, c'est Keecher. Keecher veut dire comme earthworms, tout ça. C'est qui reste dans man sale, right? So if we slay a Brahman, we can enter this body in our next birth. A Brahman who drinks liquor enters the body of small and large insect, birds, moth, destructive beasts. Ça veut dire qu'il n'est pas supposé boire. A Brahman who steals enters for 1,000 times. 1,000 times. Ça veut dire qu'il peut prendre naissance peut-être 1,000 times à chaque fois. Right now, il est Brahman, but si il peut steal from people, for 1,000 times, he will take birth in bodies like aquatic animals, lizards, spiders, snakes, right? The violator of a guru's bed enters 800 times. Grass, shrubs, and bushes, creepers, carnivorous animals. Those who delight in hurting others, feel a certain happiness in hurting others, in the next birth, they can become carnivorous animals. Tous les temps pour faire harm, no? Those people who eat forbidden food, in the next birth, they can become worms, thieves, creatures consuming their own kind. Those who have intercourse with women of low caste, they become pretas. Pret se ban like banatma ki wander. Association with outcasts. Si un outcast and Dimoun ne pas fréquenter à cause peut-être qu'il fait quelque chose de bad. Association with such people who has approached, ou bien people who has approached the wife of other men, who has stolen property of a Brahman. What do they become? They become Brahma Rakshas. They become Brahma Rakshas. Right. Ça veut dire a powerful demon spirit. Those who steal germs, pearls, coral, In their next birth, they will become goldsmith. Those who still grain peut-être du riz, dal or something. So pouvinan lira dans l'autre naissance. Those who still yellow metal, they will become swan. Who still water, they will become duck. Still honey, you will become stinging insect. Sting. Those who steal milk, they will become crow. Those who steal condiments, for example, diesel, pickles, achal, tout ça, they will become dog. Stealing meat, vulture, stealing oil, winged animal, lion, frog. When you steal cloth, we can become a crane. So like this, it continues, right? If we steal woman, we can become bear. If we steal vehicles, we become camel. So ça, c'est what will happen in the next birth. Bon, quand on dit next birth, it's not necessarily right now I die, in my just next birth, I become this, whatever I have done. No, because it might take time because there will be more other actions for me to pay, no, to bear the consequence, right? Women also who in like manner have committed a theft shall incur guilt. They will become the females of those same creatures. To Saran India for men, but if they are females having been doing the same thing, for example, Lipuvin mem body but female one, mem animal but female. Now, what will happen if we don't do our prescribed duty? All of us, we have a prescribed duty. If we don't do that, what will happen? A Brahman has certain duty. If the Brahman does not do that, he becomes the Ulka Mukha Preta. No need to learn the words like here, but what he becomes, he becomes Preta. Preta, that is, he feeds on what has been vomited. Even by creatures, qui mangent ban affaires qui ban dimoun ban animaux vomi, right? If a Kshatriya does not do his duty properly, he becomes preta who feeds on impure substances ou bien corpse. He mange ban dead bodies. Vaishya, he feeds on pus. Shudra, s'il n'est pas fait ce travail, he will be fed on moth. So you see, the point here is all of us, we have a prescribed duty to do. We can't escape our duty like Krishna has said in the Bhagavad Gita. If we escape the duty, this is what we become in the next birth, right? The law of karma, the applicable to, right? Even wasting time, the law of karma is applied there. You know, at times, nous va faire Paris. Nous assistons maman, après nous va prier, après nous pour faire le was, après nous pour faire devoir, or something like, no? We feel that laziness for some time. Des petits moments laziness là, au final, vous vous avez payé un dos for that. Parce que God il dit à nous comme ça que He has given us this time, this life, not for ourselves, but to work for others. You remember in the Bhagavad Gita, right? So next one. One must learn from past mistakes and should not repeat them. And if we are bound, we repeat them each time. Malgré qu'il nous fait une mistake, nous connaissons une mistake, mais nous fairly, we are going to suffer in this birth itself and other birth as well. We may be tossed about in dreadful hells, right? We go to hell. We go through forests with sword leaves. Ça, c'est levels of hell that we have. As per the scripture, right? Leaves, trees, the pain of being devoured by wolves, the heat of the scorching sand, cold heat, etc. Right? If we do not learn from our mistakes and we keep on repeating, we will suffer. Men will surely not want to suffer in the various life. So to secure bliss, to have not to suffer, to get liberation, a Brahman must study the Veda, must do penance, austerity, must abstain from injury. However, the knowledge of the soul is known to be the excellent way to secure supreme happiness. Quand il peut knowledge of the soul here, we are referring to Gyan Yoga, right? He says that here Manu says, Gyan Yoga is one way to secure our place in heaven or to reach God. The acts prescribed by Ved of two kinds. Ved indiano des affaires importantes. Procure an increase of happiness. Deuxième, a continuation of mundane existence. That is what we call the middle path. This is what the Ved has taught us, to follow the middle path. We have the mundane life, material life to live. Together with it, we have to work for the progress, for the upliftment, or bien for moksha, right? This is what we call the middle path. Acts which secure the attainment of wishes in the world or in the next are called pravrit. Pravrit veut dire action qui nous fait where we secure our fulfillment of wishes, of good wishes, ou bien nous secure heaven for us. C'est pas une good action en d'autres mots. We call that pravrit. But still, we are, going to heaven, we still mean liberation. Okay, we go to heaven, we enjoy, we have to come back to earth. Acts performed without desire. Là, ici, pravrit nuena desire to the world, to get something. But here, without having desire, that is nishkam karma, it is called as nivrit. Nivrit. So which one is better? Au fait, nous faire tous les deux dans la vie. At times, nous faire nishkam karma to reach the supreme. Mena defa in our material life. Not all our actions are selfless. We do certain selfish things as well. A Brahman should exert himself in acquiring knowledge for the self, of the self. So he has to work hard for that. He has to exert himself. He has to do all whatever is needed for him, the rituals, reading the Vedas and all, even the scriptures to some. But what is more important? The virtues, detachment. The rituals will be there. The person will be doing, the Brahmin will be doing, but more important thing is the practice of virtues. So by doing so, a Brahmin gains all his ends. S'il fait tout as prescribed, he will reach God. He will reach the Supreme. All those traditions and those despicable systems of philosophy which are not based on Veda produce no reward after death. Manusmriti is saying, apart from Ved, whatever is there, and apart from the Smriti, like Ramayana, Mahabharata, tout ça, we must not consider other things as scriptures. And if we follow them, we are not going to get liberation. There's no reward for that. On ne devrait pas dire nous suivre seulement scriptures. No other thing, no superstitions, no, nothing more. So as per Manu, doctrines differing from Ved are worthless. Si une bonne philosophie, bonne doctrines qui n'est pas as per the scripture, it is worthless and it should not be practiced. Even forgetful students of the sacred books are more distinguished than the ignorant, who apprend ou forget. No, at times, we are more distinguished than even the ignorant. Ignorant is pas n'apprendre, right? So the point is, at least we are doing something. We are trying to progress. Mais il pas veut dire aussi qu'il nous reste en place, right? So we should be trying our best. So again, a Brahmin, what he has to do, the rituals, the austerity to so that he can earn moksha later on. Manu points out the three kinds of knowledge. In a trois kind of knowledge: perception, inference, and sacred institutes like the books, etc. And we learn from everything, right? Nous pas juste lire from books. We learn from books. We learn from the perception, our perception. We learn from inferences. What is our experiences of life? So from the three gunas, we learn from everything. A Brahman who is learned can form an assembly for proper functioning of the Hindu society. Ça veut dire Brahman il can faire une société, right, of certain people, at least 10 people, ou bien 3, minimum 3, right? And he can represent the law, but he must be learned for that. One who knows the Rig Veda, one who knows the Yajur, the Sam Veda, they can have an assembly of 3 or 10 members. This is the code, right? The Brahmins who do not fulfill their duties, who do not study the Ved, are not allowed to form part in the assembly. See, and Brahman in create an assembly, but there are other Brahmins who do not perform their duties. They should not be part of that assembly, right? Sinon, si they're part of that assembly, they are going to be punished. They will go to hell. Let him meditate on the ether as identical with the cavities of the body. That is, let him go through all the knowledge again. Comme s'il reprend, il retrouve, il essaie comment il est capable d'améliorer. Then he can enter the assembly, right? Can you please join again? It will disconnect.